I was frankly shocked when I heard that Paxton won the primary.
The affair, the money laundering, all of that. And I was like, that's who we have in office? Are you kidding me? Two options. It's either the former, criminal or this.
I voted for Susan Collins since 1996. I will not vote for her again. Period. End of story.
I've heard way more about his background than obviously from his opponents than what he stands for. So I'm assuming he doesn't have as much money to, put as much out there as the people who do have the money to just put in our face all the negative stuff.
That's the focus group polling that the Bulwark did in Texas and Maine. We'll get back to it in a minute. They only talked to Trump voters, and as you can see, they're kind of waffling. Trump voters are in play more, especially the MAGA adjacent Trump voters are not the ultra MAGA are in play. But now we got news. Look here, folks. This is supposed to be the new Prime Minister of Britain. Anybody know anything about him? I didn't. I had to look him up on my AI. Andy Burnham. Andy. I like a prime minister named Andy. Prime Minister Andy. Well, here's a little bit of his most recent speech from a day or two ago.
In the campaign, change politics. I promise to lead by example from the front as your member.
Is that loud enough?
Traditionally,
that's very faint.
Conservatives, the Liberal Democrats, the Greens,
and
perhaps
that's the highest on their feed. He's known for wearing. We'll get here. We're getting Mr. Science Theater mode here. He's known for not dressing up much. He's a casual dresser.
I will always take
he's a Zelensky T-shirt wearer.
I think maybe he's in that mode. But it sort of symbolizes he's a liberal populist with a little more fire in the belly than Starmer, the guy that just left. When these guys leave, when these foreign leaders quit or something, the media focuses on them, and I'm like, I don't care about the guy leaving. I want to know who's next. So I'm moving on to who's next. Apparently, it's this guy. And what's interesting about the politics there, Starmer was tried to be a centrist. I think we're learning around the world. You got to pick a side. It's either the lefty populist or the right wing populist who win. The people in the middle just aren't making it.
Yeah, from what I've read of Burnham, he turned around a district that had been held by the conservatives for years, and he did it by being a left-wing populist.
From the path that takes us.
And he got himself, and he became mayor of Manchester, and was kind of a Mundabi type character. I mean, right down to fixing the bus system and making it free again. Right down to that level of detail.
Some sadness that this result brings an end to my wonderful 9 years.
I don't know. I don't know if it's always a stretch to compare British politics to ours, to the trend lines and so on.
Gregory and Linda are in.
Maybe Brentford's got something to say about the.
Good morning, Gregory and Winter.
Get them on the screen here. Oh, here we go. There they are. Morning, guys. Winter, you know anything? Now, Winter's our representative. She's our European bureau chief, but I don't know if we include the UK in that. So I don't know. Do we hold Winter responsible for what happens in the UK or just continental Europe? I don't. I mean, unless Winter gets back. Oh, that was something we were actually talking about when we went on there. We were trying to figure out what the story is on this Burnham guy and his status on Brexit. Let's see. I just asked AI about that. What's it saying here about that? It's saying is characterized relentless domestic focus. That's not.
He doesn't want to go back.
Oh, he's opposed to rejoining. Burnham has explicitly ruled out attempting to take the UK back into the European Union. While acknowledging has been damaging, he maintains the result must be respected. Okay, well, we got the answer to that question.
The problem is in Britain, I think, is that the working class was sold to the idea that Brexit would work to their advantage.
Yeah.
And it didn't.
They still haven't escaped from that myth. And I think he's sensitive to that. So he doesn't want to offend the working class. But eventually he's hoping, I think, that they'll come around. And once there's a popular mandate, he might get behind it. That's my reading of the situation. I read The Guardian every day, by the way.
Oh, yeah, we're big fans of The Guardian. Pat D really got me. Pat D's our morning host. She never comes on here. She maintains the mystery. She hangs out in the farm in Kentucky and gets us started every morning after she milks her cows at about 6 a.m. And she always gets us the latest on The Guardian. And in fact, I got inspired. I actually give them money. I gave them I pay for a subscription to The Guardian because I respect them so much. Anyway, what were you saying?
Well, I'm just saying, from what I've read, because I read the U.S. edition of The Guardian, but they still include a lot of information about the U.K. And the sense that I get is that the Labour Party is waiting until the working class comes around to the consciousness that Brexit was a bad idea and they need to get back into the European Union. They don't want to push the working class because right now the working class still believes that they're better off outside of Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're in Ireland.
Well, Ireland's another story because it's the Republic, and then there's the Northern Ireland, which is supposedly part of the UK, although they feel separate, But it's the Northern Ireland situation is difficult because Ireland, the nation, is in the EU, and Northern Ireland is not. But they trade heavily across that border, Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland. So it's one of those difficult issues that you have to deal with whenever you talk about Brexit in Ireland.
And Scotland keeps waffling back and forth as to whether or not they want to remain in the UK.
Hey, Claire.
Good morning.
Hi.
I always had. There's my Scottish coat of arms. There, you brought up. You triggered me talking about Scotland. There. Let's go. We're talking about the new Prime Minister of UK coming in. Claire, do you know anything about him?
Mayor of Manchester. Is that right?
Hey, whoa, that's great. Hey, you get a prize. That's why I love trail mixers. We got smart people. Let's give you some applause for that.
I know his last name is Burnham. I think it might be Andy.
Yeah. See, now if anybody had asked me that question 45 minutes ago, I wouldn't have known the answer.
I saw a great video this morning. My boyfriend showed it to me. I'll have to ask him for the link. But it's a Scottish fella who posted on Threads video of the various chants that the Scottish and English and Australian fans are doing against Trump at their World Cup matches.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, that sounds delightful.
Yeah. I'll find the link and I'll put it in the regular trail mix comment thread.
But a little background here on Andy. I like the idea of a prime minister named Andy. I don't know why that just registers with me.
And that, early career. He's in that speech. He's not wearing a tie either.
Yeah, he's known for that. He's known for dressing down. Jamie made the point. He's kind of pulling a Zelensky. I mean, showing up in t-shirts and whatever. But it symbolizes they call him the mayor of the North. He has really and this is not an easy job for the Labour Party. He has really built a huge following outside London, outside the big cities, like and the Liberal voters, and they call him, and that's, I think maybe dressing down like that sort of symbolizes that. But then what was interesting, I see here, he served in the Parliament from 2001 to 2017, and then was in several cabinet positions. He had a roaring national career, and then he left the Parliament and went back and ran and won and became the mayor of Greater Manchester, and then became kind of a Mandami type mayor, right down to creating a free bus system for they call the B network. So he got out in the field and as a liberal and actually ran a local government, and I guess did a fairly good job. And so now he's making his big comeback on the national scene. So
my doctor lives in Manchester, and she said he was a really good mayor for them.
Is that right? Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Andy. Well, I'm wishing Andy the best. I'd like to see the Labour Party get. I mean, Starmer was just a boring centrist. I mean, I've always said if you want to be a centrist in politics, here or anywhere, you got to be angry and you got to be an angry centrist. Centrists are too calm. I don't know if that's counterintuitive for a centrist to be angry.
I think there's some parallels between what's happening in the UK and the US. The neoliberal model, which is liberal on social issues but conservative on economics, that has not worked well for the working class, and they're mad about that. They want liberal economic policies. They're not that enthusiastic about the liberal social issues, but if you focus on the economics and you focus on economics where you're going to help the working class and tax the billionaires, that's a model that will work. And that's what we need the Democratic Party to do in this country. And it's going to have to be somebody like Starmer. I mean, not Starmer, but like Platner to do it. Now, Platner, he's just early in the game. He might not be a candidate in 2008, but he could be a candidate in 2012. Somebody with this ideology.
Well, I actually have for today. I don't want to bore everybody too much, but I love focus groups, and I tried to clip some of the more pertinent comments. But and here's the ones from Maine. The Bulwark. Y'all are familiar with the Bulwark, I imagine. And Sarah Longwell there does these focus groups, and what her expertise is, she really zeroes in and finds Trump voters who what she calls MAGA, or I guess I call it MAGA adjacent, not ultra MAGA, but the ones that are kind of in play. And here in Maine, these voters, the only voters you're going to hear right here are from voters who voted for Biden and Susan Collins on the same ballot. And here's what some of them are saying.
Susan Collins since 1996. I will not vote for her again. Period. End of story.
Now I'm curious, the technical thing. Could you hear that when I put that on just now?
Yeah, we missed the beginning of it, but
I was just checking my technicals here. I'll start. Yeah, he's saying here that he's voted for Susan Collins, I guess every time she's been on the ballot since he was old enough to vote. And now here's what he's saying.
I voted for Susan Collins since 1996. I will not vote for her again. Period. End of story. In my mind, it's just, she is letting this stuff happen. She let the two Supreme Court justices on. They weren't qualified. We knew that. And what the national pundits are missing is they just don't understand Maine. Graham Platner is Maine. He's a Mainer. We understand that. We recognize that. We understand what that means. And we're going to vote for him. She's going.
That's a guy who's voted for Collins every time he could, and he not anymore.
Oh, Craig, on the Trail Mix website, I put up my Gordon crest to go with your plan.
Oh, okay. I'll go get that while we listen to some more Mainers here.
Having the history of voting for her, I felt comfortable with her in 2020. I didn't really care for Sarah Gideon. Nothing particular, just didn't love the package. Seeing the results of so many of Susan Collins' votes, starting in 2018, really, and, coming in to current day, I cannot possibly support her. I just can't. I mean, the choices that she's making are accelerating the downfall of the United States, in my opinion. Sometimes she'll vote against a Donald Trump initiative, but that's because they've already counted the votes. We all know that. They know they have enough to pass, so they're going to let Susie, play the card.
I voted for her ever since.
One thing I like about focus groups, you get to hear how voters process their votes, how they think. People are smart. People see through things more than I think a lot of folks think. But that vote for Kavanaugh comes up a lot in these focus groups of former Susan Collins voters, because she had a lot of pro-choice voters, and that Kavanaugh vote is a real Achilles. Do you see it that way, Nash? Do you think? Because apparently the Platner campaign thinks so, because they're focusing a lot of their negative ads on her on the Kavanaugh vote.
Oh, Venturland is saying that it's the young people that want back in the EU, which makes sense.
You there, Nash?
Yeah. About Collins. The funny thing about Collins is, for a long time, people voted for her because she was a woman and they thought she would protect women's rights. And then when Kavanaugh voted to overturn Roe v. Wade, she lost a lot of support. But this is the first time she's been up for election since then. Yeah.
It seems to me that's what the Platner campaign has realized or found in their polling research, that is the best line of attack on her, that specific vote. And her explanations for it that she's given lately are not helping her at all. I mean, one time they were trying to ask her about it, and she was getting in the elevator on the Capitol, and the guy was asking her about her Kavanaugh vote, and she gestured to her aide to close the elevator door. And then the door starts to close, and then somebody stuck their hand in the door, and the door opened again. And so the guy asked her again about the Kavanaugh, and again she tells her aide to close the door. So they made an entire ad out of just that. Of her running away from the questions about Kavanaugh. So anyway. And
I'm trying to remember. My memory is horrible these days. Who's the former Republican leader of the Senate?
Former Republican. Who was the former?
McConnell.
Oh, McConnell. Yeah.
Yeah. That was his idea. Okay. He told Susan Collins, "You can vote against anything that we're passing as long as we already have the votes to pass it." Okay. So she used that.
You're right. Yeah.
She used that. She would say, "Oh, I voted against that. I voted against that." And that's what she used to tell people in Maine, that, "Oh, I didn't support that. I voted against it." But she only did that when they already had the votes. When they needed her vote, she voted with the Republicans.
You know what? Your memory's good, because I'd forgotten about that. But you're right. McConnell is the one who engineered her vote on that with that attitude. You're right. Yeah, that was his doing, talking her into that. There's Jamie's coat of arms. Got your. Is that it, Jamie?
Yep, that's it. My Durward line is a sept of Clan Gordon.
I'm trying to remember. I think mine. Oh, I don't have a deer in mind. I thought I had a deer in mind.
No, I wrote
we're open for business for coat of arms. Anybody has a coat of arms they want to put up? I think I heard the doorbell. Oh, rebellious Renee is trying to come in, but it says device not connected. Darn it. Renee, keep trying. There's nothing I can do on my end. It says you need to connect Mike and Cam before you can add them. I think I know what happened. Go ahead and allow camera and mic, and then you can choose not to put it on air. I think that might be what's happening.
Yep.
That's a little flaw in StreamYard's approach to people that I wish they'd sort out. Wender's saying that's the Jägermeister deer. Oh, he's identifying the deer in your coat of arms there, Jamie. Is that?
I think it's just kind of a generic stag.
Oh. Yeah. That's not the Jägermeister. Okay, all right. And then, I pulled some of these. Here's a much shorter. Here's just a 30-second version where I pulled snippets from both Texas and Maine focus groupers. These are all Trump voters, by the way. These are all Trump voters that are playing.
Do we have an office? Are you kidding me? Two options.
And so here they're talking about Paxton and Tallarico here. These are Trump voters in Texas who voted for him last time, talking about Paxton.
I was frankly shocked when I heard that Paxton won the primary.
The affair, the money laundering, all of that. And I was like, that's who we have in office? Are you kidding me? Two options. It's either the former, criminal or this.
I voted for Susan Collins since 1996. I will not vote for her again. Period. End of story.
I've heard way more about his background than obviously from his opponents than what he stands for. So I'm assuming he doesn't have as much money to, put as much out there as the people who do have the money to just put in our face all the negative stuff.
And that's something the voters are hip to. In the main focus group I was hearing these are Susan Collins voters, and they recognize that he's got all this money against him, and they're connecting that to why they're hearing all this negative stuff. Like I say, I find voters pick up on, they see through things better than we realize.
You have a focus group for Texas on Tallarico or?
Yeah. Those first ones there those first clips were from there, but here's all.
Frankly shocked when I heard that Paxton won the primary. I feel like there was such a strong negative impression that his trial made on a lot of people. I remember working at a law firm and working around a lot of lawyers at that time who were watching the trial and who were just like shaking their heads because it was just wild that he was able to get out of that pretty much scot-free.
Whether I agree with who Ken Paxton is as a human being, that's, I hate to say, yes, it affects my opinion, but it can affect on what you think he can or do for the state.
I wasn't the biggest fan of Ken Paxton, and I know it's going to sound really feminine, I guess.
Now, I thought that was so interesting, the way this woman apologizes for saying something feminine.
Avery's offering to be a sacrificial lamb.
What?
Avery's offering to be a sacrificial lamb over there in comments.
Is that the one I've got on the screen here?
Yeah.
I know who. He's back to Maine. We're on Texas right now, and the thing is, this woman, she apologizes for being feminine, and which I found so amazing. She goes on here.
I guess when the reports started coming out of the affair, the money laundering, all of that, and I was like, that's who we have in office? Are you kidding me? I'm not.
She's apologizing for being feminist and thinking that all his issues with women are a problem. I thought that was wild. So what do we got here going on with? Let's get the full screen back on there, Sue. bouncing around, having to bounce around like this is not easy. Let's see.
Well, Dexter's here.
Oh, there's Dexter.
Good morning. That woman thinks it's a man's world. She must have loved James Brown.
Yeah. All right, so now we want to look at what Egry's saying. I know a huge MAGA Mainer. I might ask him about Platner, but I try to talk him as little as possible and never about politics. But I might bite the bullet for trail mix and ask his opinion. Do that. You can, I don't think people should be afraid to talk about politics. What is it about? Oh, we don't talk politics. Well, why not?
Because it gets into a fight.
So, I mean, it's like, get into a fight. What's wrong with that?
He's better than Biden, that damn Biden. Yeah, that's what I hear.
Yeah.
I just shake my head. What can I say?
Yeah, Egry, go ahead and ask about that. Sure. Why not? I pulled my favorite picture. I decided this is my favorite picture from last week right here. This one never gets old.
He was like a kid in a candy store.
He was so happy.
That's going in my permanent file for
He looks happy.
Very.
I mean, every time I look at it, I think, now what was going through his mind? How did he think? Because he's in what could be a tough re-election race. So he's got everything he's got to do. He has to be calculated. And I'm thinking, how did he think this was going to? He probably thought this would make him look more masculine.
It looks like he's going for the gay vote, Craig.
Yeah, it does kind of.
You think?
But then I had a runner-up, and I still haven't found who made this meme because I want to give them credit because they did such a good job. This is my other favorite.
Oh, speaking of which, there's a new term for people who are following the memorial pond, or the memorial reflecting pool.
The pond.
They're Algefa.
I can see it.
Oh, that's perfect.
That's got legs already.
Yep.
And I've got to do. Here's one of my early candidates for best image of this week. Just saw this one. This one, I love this. We can't even
yeah.
And Bernie finally has an issue that has me on his side. He wants public takeover of the AI facilities.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got some clips on that. I was waiting for Blue to come to pull them up because I thought she'd want to talk about that because
but
the thing is,
conversation over on the trail.
Oh, okay. Well, they ought to get on over here because I'm ready to talk about it.
Well, Senator Lindsay looked a lot more happy than Vance did over there and trying to sign that thing when they was kissing each other on the cheek and they just run right by him. He just stood there looking around. He just stood there all alone.
Yeah, Katie was pointing that out earlier. They got snubbed. The cutter, the chief
Qatar, yeah.
And the
funny thing
Iranian finance or chief minister, whatever he was.
He stands next to Vance, and he keeps making like shifty eyes at him, like I don't trust him, kind of thing.
Yes,
it's really funny. But I was wondering something. I'm wondering if the Iranians can talk to Qatar and hold the Air Force One that they're building for him.
Hold it. What do you mean?
It's already been delivered.
He's already got it.
Oh, they already got it?
He's going to start flying it in a few days.
Yeah, they had it at Andrews Air Force Base a couple days ago when he
was all wired and fired up. It's ready to go.
Damn it. Because I was going to say, Iran could hold that against him and be like, get out.
It's all painted. It says Donald J. Trump right on it.
Oh, God.
It's all fueled up and ready to run, ready to roll.
He changed the color blue. He didn't like Jackie's powder blue version.
Yeah.
Right. Well, whenever I see these signs where people put these up on a overpass on a highway, what goes through my mind is that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. How do you get all those letters and look how even they are, how evenly distributed? I mean, and how do
well, those are those art students, I think, that did that. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, I guess so.
Maybe.
And how do you fasten them?
You're missing an apostrophe there in Kant.
Oh, you're right. They are.
What's the matter with them dumbasses? They can't even spell right.
It's behind the post there.
Yeah.
I'll
Or the
give 'em a
post is
pass.
working as one.
I think they did that on purpose.
Yeah. And was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. I saw CNN misspelled. They misspelled father. They actually managed to misspell. I mean, how do you misspell father? That's pretty hard to do, but they managed.
On the one day of the year, they need.
There, look at that. See there?
Yeah, they never even changed it.
Well, you got all these young people. You got all these young people out there that they use automatic spell check, so they don't understand.
Man, they really botched that.
They're probably thinking daughter. Oh, it must be spelled like daughter.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good. That's a good spin there. That's a good spin. But what got me was it first caught my eye when I just saw it out of the corner of my eye, and then I thought, well, they'll have to take that down. And they left it there. I thought, well, if you're going to leave it there, I'm going to take a picture of it and make fun. I was going to give them some slack if they took it right down, but they left it there. I mean, it's like that nobody could see that. I imagine somebody got in trouble over that.
They got it copyrighted too. Getty got it. Getty Images.
Get back into got just a couple more of the focus group from Texas that these Texas, but I mean, one thing I noticed is, boy, has it ever gotten through, and I just don't think it's making as much difference as they hope. But these Republican voters, they've gotten the message, the culture war message on Talarico's gender stuff. They keep
fan of either of them, but it's what's your options here? You don't have very many options. You got two candidates. Here's this one that's under money laundering, affairs, all that extra stuff, and then here he is. Two options. It's either the former, criminal or this.
I feel like I'm leaning more towards Paxton, just based solely on not deep knowledge, but more so I know that he leans more towards the conservative side. Don't agree so much with his hard stance on immigration and some of those smaller issues that we see with Trump. I don't like to call myself left or right. I'm somewhere more in the middle, but closer to the right.
I'm not a Talarico fan. It reminds me too much of Beto, like Abigail said, about the transgender issues, the whole God's non-binary. I just can't get on board with that. I don't believe that God is non-binary. He's talked about all those things, and I have not gone to the depth of looking at YouTube and seeing the entire speech. I've just caught the clips. So,
boom, there it is. See, it's the clips. They're getting all these clips about the God binary stuff. But these are all voters who are saying they're not necessarily going to vote against him for it. But what caught my attention is it's gotten through. They've gotten that message through to their voters already, and they got plenty more time to keep getting it through. And then
and yet these are the people who do not believe that God has a physical body. So how could he have a gender?
Yeah. But one thing about these Republicans, they are efficient at delivering these messages to their base, and they have done it in spades.
I don't know if in what context that was, but it still just doesn't sit right with me.
I guess he's heard that he's like type 1 diabetic and has he's a former teacher. And
do you know that they're also attacking him for being type 1 diabetic? I don't know.
Are you kidding me?
Even that's getting that he's sick. He won't even survive. I don't know that. I mean, they throw everything they can think of. But what gets me is what I always like these focus groups for is you get to hear what's getting through and what's not, and boy, they are getting these messages through. But it's not. I don't think it's making the difference that they expect.
Stuff like that.
How these people are actually going to
where he just kind of makes himself seem like a better person or like a more real person. But I would agree that he's probably the lesser of two evils if you had to choose. I don't
see. Now there you go. After she said all that stuff, she's saying she's going to vote for him, or maybe not vote, but she's not voting for Paxton. So they got their message through to this voter, but it's amazing to me. How do you call Tallarico the lesser of two evils of Paxton?
Platner has come out in favor of transgender rights, and transgender is an issue in Maine, especially in high school sports. High school sports are really, really big in Maine, especially basketball. It's a little too cold to play football here in a lot of Maine, but high school basketball is a huge thing in this state, and we've already had this controversy over transgender athletes playing in high school sports. It's an issue in the state. Platner's come out in favor of transgender rights, so he's on that side of the issue, just like Tallarico.
So he is. But
how many transgender girls are there in Maine?
There are quite a few. And they want to play. The difficult thing is the ones who have male genitalia but identify as female and want to play on female basketball teams. High school basketball in Maine is a huge sport. It's more important than anything. It's more important than professional sports. I mean, people go to high school games all over Maine, and they take it really seriously. And
that's like a lot of the Southern Georgia in high school football. And
Platner's come out and said he's in favor of letting the transgender play in the sport that they identify with. He's supporting them, and he's not
waffling. He's not waffling. He's actually coming out and saying
not at all. That's a dividing point for me. I'd say up until puberty. After that, the male physique has too much of an advantage to play on a girl's team.
Right, yeah, that's the argument. Yeah.
I wonder if the Collins campaign will try to do anything with that, because that could be a problem.
They don't worry about transgender athletes who are biologically female who want to participate on male teams, like wrestling, stuff like that. They don't have a problem with that. It's the ones who have male physical characteristics who want to play on women's teams. It's a controversy, but it's kind of like 50-50 in the state in terms of support. So in Platner's, he's come down firmly on one side. He's not waffling at all.
Well, at least he's not waffling, but that actually scares me what you're saying.
I say it's high school. Who cares?
Yeah.
Well, in Maine, high school sports, especially basketball, it's the state passion, right? Everybody watches the state championships on TV, and they go on because they have all these different classes. So boys and girls high school basketball teams in 5 different classes. The games are on for like a week, and everybody watches them. Everybody. Well, not me.
Isn't that like Texas and football?
What's
with
that?
The Friday night lights?
Texas and football, and Georgia.
Yeah.
I remember like Southern Georgia, boy, the high school football games. I mean, they get thousands of people. They're just spectacles, and
Well, I played high school basketball in Indiana. It was the same way there, And by the way, Sean Fain was like an all-state type basketball player for Kokomo Wildcat basketball in Indiana. So Indiana's just like that, just like Nash is saying about Maine.
Hey, Claire, you popped out, and I just got you back in.
Thank you.
Do you have anything to say that we missed, or?
Oh no, I never have anything really terribly important to say.
Well, none of us do. That doesn't stop us.
But I did put in the comments thread on Trail Mix the link to the video with the soccer chants.
Oh, well, see, that's something important. Yeah, I was gonna look for that. Now you got me scared there, Nash. I want to dig into this because I don't see. I think that's how Kamala lost. Was not getting the right position on that issue. In that case, it was the question of transgender surgery, taxpayer funded transgender surgery in prisons. They spent $40 million on college football TV, $40 million in one weekend before the election on that issue alone. And that ad had a great tagline. Miriam Adelson put $40 million of her own money into just that ad on college football TV nationwide. And it had a tagline that was pretty good. You know, she's for they and them, he's for you. That was the tagline of that. And I really think that's what turned out a lot of the young men who ended up being a decisive vote in electing Trump. So that issue scares me.
I don't think that would work in Maine, and here's why.
All right.
Most of the people in Maine live in small towns, and everybody knows everybody else. So when you have a transgender, again, with male anatomy, who identifies as female, wants to play on the high school team, okay, people like him or her or them, okay, and they know this person. And also, they tend to score a lot of points. So it's like they want that person on their winning team. So if you go around in Maine, it's 50-50 split. And a lot of this is personal. People know it's not some vague transgender person that they don't know. Yeah. They know the person and they support them. So you have entire towns rallying around a transgender athlete. And that's the way basketball is. It's a passion, and you know, they identify. They know this person, and they say give them the chance to play. They identify as female, let them play on the male team, and again, it's a 50-50 split. So if you try to run that negative campaign in Maine, you'd antagonize as many people as you gain support from.
That worked in Ohio because Vance had a campaign. We showed some transgender boy that wanted to play on the girls' team, and he had taken hormone treatments. He had large breasts, and he was like 6'4", towering over these 5'2" girls. And they used that in the campaign. Yeah, you want this? You know, this is what Sherrod Brown is for. And that's when Sherrod Brown got beat.
And Platner's comments are over on the comment side.
What's that?
Platner's stance is on the comment side.
Oh, Platner. Oh, okay. Let's see. Historical statistical scoop. All right.
People in Maine have been arguing about this issue for like the last 3 or 4 years. This is not a new issue for people in Maine.
Yeah.
Historical content. Oh, he's a former high school wrestling stated that. And that's that again. What is his actual stance then? Is that in here?
Mainly that it really doesn't count.
And that is my point.
Yeah.
So he's saying it. He's saying he's for letting them play, but it doesn't matter.
Right.
Well, like with wrestling, though, it goes by weight class.
Yeah.
So, so that makes sense why he wouldn't care, because like when kids are little, you know, up until probably 8th, 9th grade, they're usually about the same size, and then it kind of changes. So that's different when it's wrestling, just because the weight.
I could see Collins not this probably wouldn't be an issue that Collins would want to her campaign directly do, but I could see an independent campaign coming in full swing.
Well, Collins will be waffling on it, and I think it's only 0.3% of teenage athletes are transgender, like 0.3%, it's something like that.
Well, that was also the case when they destroyed Kamala with the issue. I mean, that's what worries me is the billionaire is going to write a check for $10 million to do an ad in Maine in the last weekend of the campaign, just blasted Platner for letting men playing women's sports or whatever.
We got bigger issues than that really to tackle,
Yeah, that's just right. If you know the person, you probably want them on your team.
Yeah, that's
Once
true.
Again,
yeah,
transgender makes up 1% of the whole population of the United States.
But athletes, though, it's less than that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
As far as all athlete groups, that's what I read.
Yeah.
I can't verify it because I didn't memorize it.
Huh. Well, my only hope is maybe at some point the issue just has an expiration date with voters. That's what I'm hearing in this focus group I've been playing here in Texas is, they're talking about these issues. That one woman said, she didn't like his transgender and his God gender and all that. She didn't like all that stuff. But at the end of the day, she said he's the lesser two evils. So we're not losing her vote, over
God is a made up thing. Their name is God. We don't know if it is a man or a woman or whatever it is. For all we know, it could be a lizard up in the sky. For all we know. So
Oh, watch out for those lizard politics.
Oh, I know. But no, I'm going more and more towards being an atheist. I really am.
Well, many, many times I've heard the women in my recovery group call their God a she. Like she did this, or I got a message from she sent me this. I mean, a lot of women in recovery groups call their God the female gender.
Oh, really?
But that's the thing is they technically, if they're non-binary, we could call him him or he or they or whatever.
Some people just say they feel the spirit. They don't even identify with he or she.
Yeah.
Well, here's the Claire. You still with us, Claire?
I'm here.
Oh, okay, Claire, grab this for us. This is the Scottish kickback to try. Here we go.
You got me tired but not beat. Once again, I had a clip taken down because it suggested that Scottish fans had been singing rude things about Donald Trump. So in the meantime, here's some Australians doing the same thing. Up yours, Donald. Censorship is to art what lynching is to justice. This is the clip that got me in trouble. This is what Scottish fans have been singing. Let the stink run high, let the stains run low. Down his legs, the muck will flow. All the lassies shout, Pedo! Donald shut his trousers. This is just another reason why you see, when you tear out a man's tongue, you're not proving him a liar. You're just pointing out that you fear what that man has to say. Here's something the English fans have been singing. Mind you, England have been giving us a run for our money. They've been threatened with a ban for singing. He's fat with piles. He's in the Epstein files. Trump the can. Trump the can.
I like that one.
What is freedom of expression without freedom to offend? Doesn't exist. Anyway, here's a lovely clip for America showing the great relationship that's been built between Americans in Boston and the Scottish fans.
After they're gone, I'm one person cleaning up after them, man, and it ain't that bad. They came, conducted themselves, man, with class, dignity, man, and they like our city. So I'm happy they came, man.
And that outdoes just about anything you've ever done in your entire life, Donald Trump, and that guy just collects garbage. Anyway, here's Malky with the weather. How's the weather looking in Scotland, Malky? It's shite. Here's the thing. If you can't say fuck, then you can't say fuck your government and fuck you, Donald Trump. Anyway, do follow me if you like this kind of thing. Nobody is going to see this. It's going to get buried. So if you do see it, share it around. If you really want to see my work, just go over to Instagram. Everybody's following me on that. Because I'm a very
he reminds me of John Cleese a little bit.
It's a Scottish swearing news TikTok. You got me tired but not beat. Once again,
looks like him.
Those Scots, they drank the bars dry in Boston. Several bars ran out of beer.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. That was on the news yesterday. They showed it.
We got the latest generic. Let's see.
And the booze too. They drink the booze too.
got the latest generic ballot. Keep track of the generic ballots. This is, I just pulled together the last three, I guess it was. I mean, to put context in this, when Democrats netted 41 seats in Trump's first midterm in 2018, at this point in that race, they were 7 points ahead in these generic ballots. And right now, you can see they're what, 9? So they're about where they were when they took the House in Trump's first midterm. And this was another runner-up for last week's Best Picture. This is the guy who got the no-bid $1.7 million contract to clean up the reflecting pool.
Who's the lady there? I haven't figured that out.
I don't know.
I think it's, I don't know.
I actually ran it through my, my Photoshop detector, whatever there's this app where you can give it a picture and say, was this retouched or was this altered in any way? And this is a legit picture. I thought maybe this was Photoshopped or something, but it's a real picture.
That's a $25 cigar. I'll kiss your ass.
I just see pictures with women looking as if they've just been bought and paid for.
Right. Yeah. But
married for money.
You don't want. And then this is another one that's staying. These are all going into my permanent folder.
That is good.
That's a good one.
I love that one.
When I see something like this, I think that's why God invented AI. I don't care how many gallons of water we wasted for that one. It's worth it.
We got plenty of water.
The thing you have to worry about with AI is what they call AI slop. Are you familiar with that, Craig?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Well, go on. Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
Well, it's AI programs feed off of each other. So if they pick up some bad information, it tends to spread through all AI programs. And eventually, over time, AI programs become dumber and dumber and dumber.
Yeah.
So the information.
You know what? I didn't know. You've got a different angle on slop. I was thinking of those cartoonish images they make. They call slop, but you're talking about information slop.
Yeah. All you gotta do is go to Google AI and type in what is AI slop, and it will tell you.
Yeah.
But
It'll
also,
always
like,
tell on itself. Yeah.
AI pulls from the whole internet. So it will pull information off of Reddit, which Reddit people are crazy. It'll pull stuff from there and put the wrong information in. That's happened to me on some of the things that I've done. I've used AI for.
Well, and what I do is in my prompts, I forbid certain sites. Like for the thing I've been doing most every day when I remember, I do this new, the what's clicking. We do. I have it pull. It's taken weeks to develop the prompt to the point where I like it. But and one of the things, as I say, and Reddit's one of them. I say, I really don't want to know what's clicking on Reddit.
Yeah.
And so you can control what it searches and what it pulls, and you can forbid certain things. I don't think people realize, you do have an awful lot of control through your prompts on what these AIs do. You have a lot of control over it, actually. But see, I'm doing this thing every day. It took me weeks to develop this prompt, and the prompt that I did for this is I have it look for, these are the stories that are getting the most clicks, because that's what I wanted to know. I want to know, what are people reading, what's getting their attention, and developing it. You see the sources here: CNBC, Guardian, CBS, and then there's some off-brand stuff. And different things, but anyway, I'm just saying, in writing the prompt for this, I've really kept control over what kind of sites it goes to, so that I'm not getting a lot of slop, So anyway, I'm just saying,
No, that's good because things like Google AI, you don't have any control over that.
Right.
You just have to go with whatever it spits out.
Yeah.
Craig, you've got a newbie over in comments named Mark in Maine.
Oh,
So
I got somebody
welcome,
in
Mark.
Maine. Mark Maine.
Might invite him
Hello
to the
I've
trail
heard
mix.
narratives about transgender in sports in Maine, mostly emotional reaction to the Trump administration. Let's get transparent data on what's affecting the sports. Be inclusive. I'm all for that.
Yep.
How about getting that for us there, Mark? Go get some of that for us. Some of that transparent data. We'd like to see it. And join us over on trailmix.cc. We do this for an hour every day at 11 a.m. But our real jobs are we get on trailmix.cc for the rest of the day.
And Bernie Sanders has finally come up with an issue that makes me support him wholeheartedly.
What? Jamie said that?
Yeah, Jamie said that.
Oh my God.
Becoming progressive.
Now, I actually wanted to ask Nash about this because he's our economics professor and business professor. Now, what he's talking about here, Nash, is he's talking about a law that makes the AI companies, highlighted it down here a little further, that makes AI companies turn over 50% of their stock to the federal government. Now, what's the economics professor's reaction to that?
Yeah, I want to hear that.
It's similar to what they do in Germany. In Germany, big corporations have to have a member of the board that represents the general public.
Okay.
And this is another way of doing that. If you have half the stock, then you have control of the organization. You don't have to worry so much about legislation. AI moves so fast, it's hard to legislate. But if you've got seats on the board of directors, and 50% of the stock will give you a lot of control of the board of directors, then you'd be able to control what they're doing in real time, because everything would come before the board. So yeah, it's better than legislation. It's a control mechanism regulating these capitalist entities to keep them.
That's an interesting point. It's a substitute for regulation that's so spotty. But now here's the New York Post. They jumped on it right away. Bernie Sanders communist AI heist attempt. Right here, they wasted no time jumping right on it. AI communist AI heist attempt. So
it would give us control over those massive installations that are causing so much trouble. I mean, you mess with my owls, you're messing with me.
See?
Well, young people, especially if you look at college students now, they are terrified of AI. They're terrified that it's going to take away their jobs, and they're probably a lot more informed about AI than older people, especially non-college educated older people. The young people are really in a panic about AI.
Yeah. And the thing is, when I saw the New York Post calling it communist and everything, I thought, now see if this is too much of a stretch, Nash, connecting these dots. But Trump's the one. I think it was NVIDIA. It was one of those companies that he was talking about. If we give them this subsidy, then we want 10% of the company. That's been a little trend of Trump's. I don't think he's done any of it yet, but they keep talking about, well, if we do this for that company, we want a piece of the company, And I didn't hear New York Post calling that communist, when Trump
is primarily interested in getting the money. He wants the dividends. He wants the ownership, the stock money. He doesn't care about corporate control. He'll let them run wild, unregulated capitalism. But this is socialism. Okay, this is democratic socialism. But this is what they do in Germany. Every large corporation has a member of the board who represents the general public, and they look out for the general public's interest.
And of course, in order to enforce that right now, Delaware would have to put that in their laws, right? Because
well, I'm not a lawyer. You're a lawyer.
That's where they incorporate. And they incorporate in Delaware because Delaware doesn't put in requirements like that. But the federal government could too, the SEC. You could probably do what you're talking about with an SEC regulation, perhaps. I wonder. That's possible.
You could legislate it. You could do what they do in Germany. Insist that every large corporation, you'd have to define what size this would kick in, but they would have to have one member of the board who represented the general public. And I'm not sure exactly how they choose those people in Germany, but it's probably comes out of the legislature. They choose the person or the governor or whatever, and they're there as a control mechanism to keep the corporation from doing horrible things in the name of making money.
Yeah.
I have to say this before we go for the day. Albanians are pushing construction crates down the hills on that island.
Oh, the Jared Ivanka Island?
They're breaking everything and pushing them down the hill so they're just broken. Because Kushner and Ivanka already had stuff on the island to start building.
Wow. Yeah, that's a good one to follow. Hey, Jimmy Myers, you got in a little late, but there we are. We'll pop you on here. Scotland is in Florida. Good. Stop drinking all our beer in Boston. Okay. Well, that's our hour. I'm gonna end with my little clip reel here of some of the focus groupers, Trump voters in Texas and Maine. And anybody got any unfinished business? And we'll see you over on trailmix.cc. If not,
have a great day, everybody.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Good to talk to you. Thanks for your Maine reports there, Nash. Appreciate it. All right, here we go. Here's some Texas and Maine Trump voters in a focus group poll. I just pulled a few snippets together, just about 40 seconds of that here, and we'll play that right now. Let's see. We got to hit the button.
Heard the Paxton won the primary.
The affair, the money laundering, all of that. And I was like, that's who we have in office? Are you kidding me? Two options. It's either the former, criminal or this.
I voted for Susan Collins since 1996. I will not vote for her again. Period. End of story.
I've heard way more about his background than obviously from his opponents than what he stands for. So I'm assuming he doesn't have as much money to, put as much out there as the people who do have the money to just put in our face all the negative stuff.